And Animaeus reminds you that he actually did meet with one of the leaders of the of Meletis, Parasophia of the 12, and he says that if we ever needed anything, that she would be willing to help. So there is a tie there if you are willing to pursue negotiations with the peace treaties with the Leonin.
All right, there we go. Much better. Yeah, that works for me. If we get everybody ready to get peaceful up in this bitch.
All right. People start wondering about in the temple. People start entering and exiting again, talking about the crazy thing that happened. And as people look at you, there's like instant recognition. Like even people who you've not seen yet, they just you can tell that they recognize you and know that you have significance. And a few of them approach you and talk to each other. Like, are these the ones that Afara? Yeah, they have to be. I mean, they're the new people. So
Woot.
I'm going to kind of lean over to Tarus and kind of whisper in his ear. Phoenix isn't the only one who can control minds, evidently.
Yeah, control might be a strong word. Just influencing. Just making friends and influencing people.
Whatever you say, sure. All I know is my brain's not going to be influenced by things outside of my body.
all right, so you get a few words of thanks, appreciation. People saying if there's anything you need, or they'll help you. Things of that nature. Like people aren't overly elated, but it's definitely in their mind's eye that if you're cool, or in their mind, if you're cool with the Fara, they're cool with you.
Hello.
Gonna fight an urge not to take advantage of these people.
We'll take a little advantage. Hey.
Okay, so where are you guys making your way to? Are you just gonna hang out, commune with the head back to Ajani? Where are we going?
We were going to meet the person to negotiate, help with the negotiations of peace between the Leona and Meletis. At least that's what I thought we agreed on.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna head towards the Johnny. That's where we think he is.
Do we know anything about the leader of Meletis?
We know that there was one person here that had already been working on peace with Ajani. I don't know if that person was the leader.
Should we go ahead and contact him then?
I would feel
And
that would be our best course of option if we were wanting to do that, since he was already susceptible to the idea.
yeah, that would be Pura Sophia of the 12, the one of the people who were on the council. And Animeus had already met with her to tell the leadership of Meletis that Ashiok is up to something, but that has, since been resolved. And Animeus leads you, or tells you how to get to Para Sophia's residence and the residence of the rest of the council. Are you going there before you meet up with Ajani, or are you dragging Ajani with you?
I'm thinking we're going to stop by to ask for permission for Ajani to enter the city, since he's camped outside.
I say we drag him along and just see what happens.
I agree with Taurus. We're the heroes. They're gonna be dicks about it. We can fight them too.
I mean, you've already got the favor of their patron god. I mean, they can't dispute you too much.
Sure, let's drag him along and just freak everyone out right after
I
saving their
declare
asses.
Your God.
Pretty sure we can run around touching babies right now, and they wouldn't care too much.
The babies might.
Oh, they're babies. They'll cry anyways.
They won't remember it.
We're just smiting them with the power of goodness.
Is that what we're doing? I thought Truce was smiting them with the power of fire.
It can be good fire.
Holy fire.
I feel like we're
Fire.
perverting our powers here. We need to ask for permission first.
Let's see. Holy fire.
I mean, splitting the party is always a good thing to do, right?
If you want me to represent the party at the council, I'll do it.
How about this? Animeus is here. You can send him, since he knows where he's going, and then you can meet up with Ajani. Animeus says, I know where I'm going. If you want to go meet up with him first, I can meet up with you after asking permission.
That works.
If you want to be,
I guess we're going to go crash a party.
Deploy the bubble.
Wait, we're crashing a party?
Yeah, I'm
No,
missing
that
something here.
We don't crash parties. We are the party.
We bring the party.
Okay, so Animeus starts walking towards the council's residence. And is anyone going to join him?
Akira will join him.
Go find
And
it.
if Akria's going, I will go as well.
Wait, they're going to the council?
Yeah.
To ask permission. Can we let the kitty in, please?
We want to find out where the litter box is.
He's been scratching at the door for 13 hours. Let him in. Oh, that's just a shame.
It's a perfect opportunity to strengthen our relationship with Meletis.
God.
I hope they don't take it personally.
Oh, I don't know if Animeus had filled you in on this on his own, but Parasophia, as a scholar of the magical arts and astrology and all the nature of things, she is aware of the existence of other planes and the space between, but does not exactly know what that entails. Animeus fills you in on the way there to whoever is accompanying him.
So she's aware of the possibility, but doesn't have necessarily any proof or knowledge of.
Oh, there's plenty of proof. Like there's, some very astute scholars in Meletis, and it's not something that's widely known, but they've got a really, really strong hunch and some decent evidence to prove it. So,
So they have evidence of such, but they do not have any understanding of such.
correct.
So basically, they have a Stargate, but they don't know how to work it.
They have a conceptual idea of a Stargate, but they're like, I don't know.
Kind of like how we know what gravity is, but we don't know what it is.
I wouldn't go
Pretty
that
close,
far.
yeah.
Okay.
So Tarus and Kariki are going to fetch a Johnny. Claw, Animeus, and Akira are going to the council, right?
Yes.
Sounds good.
That is correct.
Split the party.
Okay. So Animeus leads you up to the council chambers where there is a group of people, mostly female, around talking about the events that transpired that night. We would lose. Is everyone still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got two
I don't
Lucases
know.
on my screen.
Yeah, I have to be logged in on my phone so I can use my headset, and on the computer so I can actually stream. So, yay for that.
Technology.
I say.
Okay. So, it's a very large speaking chamber with a bunch of benches around a divot in the ground where one person would stand and present arguments and speak to a crowd of people around. But the people are just kind of scattered about. And Animeus leads you up to one very well-dressed woman with a long black braid that comes down to about the middle of her back, splits, and comes back up into hoops on top of her head, who was speaking with two other people, a man and a woman, both equally as well dressed, about the concept of fear and what the repercussions of it would have been if Phobos had made it into the heavens, and that's such a thing. And Animeus says, I didn't expect to meet you again so soon, Parasophia. And she turns to him, gives a big warm smile, comes over, shakes his hand, and says, and I never expected you to be the heroes of the city on such short notice. It's been a day since we met?
All right. Quick question. So while we're walking here, I'll probably overhear a lot of people talk about their dreams. Did everyone have the same dream?
You heard people talking about an assortment of dreams, like people
Okay.
living out their worst fears, in various different forms.
So it was all a different dream.
They're personal nightmares.
Yeah. I mean,
All
a few
right.
people shared similar, but it was person.
I was going to try to come up with small talk. But, yeah.
So about
Call.
those terrifying nightmares you just had, am I right?
Pull out an Ambien from my pocket.
So yeah, Sophie turns to you and says, "So, what business do you have here? Friends of Animeus, or friends of Anu, or friends of mine?"
We came to ask permission. There's been a group of people camped outside of the walls of the city. We want to ask permission for them to be your guests at a council meeting. They request your presence. You can tell my charisma's low.
I'm getting some real bad lag. I only caught parts of that.
Basically, there's a Johnny's group's camped outside of the city gates. I want to ask the council for permission and also to grant an audience to them to discuss advancing peace talks.
Hello?
Hello.
Awkward silences?
If I was getting cut off and nobody else was doing just fine, but I guess.
I thought my my little speech was cut off.
I heard you. I think Lucas got cut off.
Yeah, I heard you. Lucas!
See, this is what happens. We split the party and immediately lose somebody.
And he dropped.
Oh, one of them dropped.
We lost to Lucas.
We lost our DM. Quick, everybody roll initiative.
Everyone advanced 2 levels. Or 3.
Roll initiative. What are we fighting? Everything. We're fighting the system, man.
Fighting against the Matrix.
Start punching nuns. And babies. Evil campaign. Now.
Have at the nuns.
I don't want to be a murder hobo.
That's why we murder. That's why we murder emperors.
Murder magistrates. There we go.
Magistrates.
Start a band and be murder muses.
uses
That
them.
works. So did everybody watch and enjoy Infinity War?
I have not watched it yet.
No spoilers.
Please,
I
no
wasn't going to
spoilers.
Please don't.
I was confirming if everybody's watched it before I did spoilers.
I think you're the only one.
I've also seen it, but
Never mind.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, Devin?
uh,
That's
it's.
not a very promising response.
I feel like my thumbs are upward angled, but they're not quite as high in the air as some of my roommates.
Well, my thumbs are thoroughly in the air.
Yeah, I think it just. I feel like there's a couple of oversights and things that I'm kind of holding on my judgment on until I watch the second part.
It is messy.
So it's going to be a two-part thing?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. It was originally going to be a two-part, like Infinity War Part 1 and then Part 2, but then they changed their mind.
That usually results in a very messy thing.
Because, like, the ending is a very definitive ending, but it is still kind of a cliffhanger. So you're just like it ends in a I don't know what the fuck happens next kind of an ending. And so you're just it's still a two-parter even though it's not a two-parter. But how about that Deadpool?
Deadpool 2 is out?
Comes out next week.
I need to see that. I'm excited for it.
Infinity War Part 2 is to be released in 2019.
Yeah. We got Ant-Man 2 in 2 months, Captain Marvel in like 6 months, and then in a year will be Infinity War Part 2. Or whatever the heck they're going to call it.
I don't have that much time to watch all these movies.
I know, right?
I guess I'll just have to wait for
Well,
them
you
to
can
come
go on
out
YouTube
and
and watch.
the pirated.
Go ahead. You can go on YouTube and watch the awesome Deadpool 2 Celine Dion trailer.
Ooh.
Like, it's Celine Dion singing her new song with Deadpool.
And we have a Lucas back.
Yay!
Hello.
I don't know why Hangouts doesn't want to work on my phone.
Did your phone crash or something?
Yeah, well, it just said Hangouts wasn't responding, so I had to restart my phone and tried a couple of different ways to get logged in.
Who was the last you heard?
Well, in the chat, I said that a Johnny is welcome in the city if he's with you, and asked why he was seeking an audience with the 12, and
Did you get my response?
I did. And Pira Sophia says that they've been in talks with a few of the Leonin people, especially messengers to and from Oreskos, speaking with Bermaz with negotiations, but it's a very loose treaty right now. And if they could have a direct line to the Leonin, it would be amazing because all they seek right now is peace.
I really do not want to be an ambassador to these people.
That's why we're bringing
Johnny?
a Johnny in. so that he can be like the representative of the Leonin people.
Vermaz.
Yeah.
Well, if he does the job, good for him. I don't want to do the job.
No, we're too busy slaying gods.
No, I want to travel to Perforos so he can make me some cool stuff.
Number one priorities in D&D campaign: acquire cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
There's my haiku.
a John. We need more pussy. Oh, it's glorious. So yeah, all of the 12 are cool with it at Parasophia's recommendation. They debated a little bit, and they all agree that it would be paramount for them to find an ambassador to Oreskos. So if they can negotiate something with a Johnny, and of course you let them know that Thesa is with a Johnny as well. And yeah, Johnny has permission to come in. So we will cut to Kariki and Tarus as they are on their way through the gates outside of Meletis.
I love how we just asked for permission for him to come in, and he's already inside the city on his way.
Us heroes, we don't waste any time.
Yeah, fuck negotiations.
Taurus is going to be high-fiving everyone he passes. Except he's kind of short, so they're like, he's raising up his hand just like to waist level, and they're all like, "What the? Sure."
Just 90-degree angles, smack.
Each handing their hands,
Do what?
or use mage handing their hands for a high five.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta put a glove on your mage hand so they can actually see it.
And it has to be white.
Yes. Go Mickey Mouse on them. Oh,
Haha, I'm here to kill your gods. Haha.
that was perfect.
It was wonderful.
So we let a mouse and a cat in. What's next?
So
Why wear tendril thingies? That makes it
Caesar, Ajani, and Lanathos are outside waiting, packing up the campsite, what little they had, and Ajani just keeps like reaching and rubbing his jaw, like, you know, it's kind of uncomfortable for him. He's a little bit swollen on his cheek, and he just can't, you know, for the life of him, figure out why he's so sore.
like, sorry about that. I figured you could handle it. Although I didn't punch him in the throat, I booped him in the nose.
I booped him in the nose.
Yeah, he's a cat. You boop him on the nose.
You just give him a good slap right on the nose.
We didn't try like waving fish in front of him to pick him up.
Chasing after him with a squirt bottle.
Another box.
That's what you should have done. Just like fill the whole entire camp with sand.
So yeah, a couple of swollen eyes, a little bit of a fat lip, you know. Looking around, he notices, Kariki and Tarus approaching through squinted eyes, and he asked, where the other three are, and he, and what in the world happened? Why is everyone, so happy to see us and see you guys and all that stuff?
So as soon as he asks where the others are, Taurus is gonna just very morosely take off his hat and put it over his heart and just they're no longer with us. They're just sorry. They wanted to ask permission, so we let them. Put his hat back on.
Before the end of that, two things happen. Johnny just kind of nods, acknowledging, the risks of what may have happened. But Caesar is just like absolutely stricken, like heartbroken. She's like, oh! Lanathos isn't even paying attention. He's packing stuff up.
And then Taurus is gonna grin and be like, "Yeah, they're waiting for us inside."
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Caesar's a little put off by the joke, but there's definitely a sigh of relief following this a distasteful joke in her opinion. And Johnny just like throws his hands up, like I shouldn't have expected any different from this guy.
You shouldn't have.
And Johnny says, well, I guess we wait.
I mean, you don't have to. We could just, go ahead and get in there, and I'm sure they'll have it all taken care of by the time we make it to the council meeting.
I would think so.
Besides, you already had kind of a foundation on this thing anyway. Like you weren't banned from the city.
You just weren't welcome.
Johnny says, I just tend to not stick my nose where I know I'm not welcome. I've already caused a bit of a stir here, denouncing one of the primary gods. So, I'd rather not cause a commotion where it's not necessary.
But they're waiting for us.
Taurus is going to grin and be like, "We did that to his face."
Yeah, look at this.
He touches his eyes and nose and winces a little bit, and he's just like, I'm sure there was a good reason, but I'm not even going to ask.
I spoke the truth to Heliod, and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. We could probably go ahead and just kind of start towards the council meeting. I mean, it's not. They don't have any laws against you or anything. I mean, there might be like some courtesy involved or something, but
The whole city's distracted with their own weird gossiping about their nightmares. And we're the heroes, so they're not going to question us too much when we walk through carrying
Johnny nods, seeing the reasoning.
Are you there? Drop again?
Seems like we lost Lucas again.
What was the last thing you heard?
hey, welcome back.
Nods to understanding the reason, seeing the reasoning.
Oh, um, tell Caesar to help Lanathos with camp, packing everything up, and motions for you to lead the way back into Meletis because he has no idea where he's going.
All right.
Yeah, Taurus is gonna
I do that.
grin, turn around, and immediately like puff up his chest, and start walking back in. He's gonna stop for a second, and go. Actually, do you happen to have a glove on you by chance?
I don't know, but I'm sure someone has a glove you can use.
I mean, before I said the city would provide you with all your needs. So as Kariki and Tarus are making their way back up, back into the city, Tarus constantly nagging people if they have an extra glove that they could spare. What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna lounge in the lobby of the council room, just eating the rest of my kebabs that somehow are still on me.
Don't mind that they're coated in fur now. They're still pretty good.
It's his own fur.
Akira would be present, but kind of in a distance where he's not too noticed, listening to the council, trying to gather any sort of information that would be useful to the party, and understanding the political nature of the city and surrounding areas.
Look at you, all useful.
That depends. How good is his role going to be?
I can roll for it.
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
I'll tell you.
First
Roll
roll
for
of
it.
the session.
First
Yeah,
roll.
I mean, you have to be somewhere.
Wait a minute, where did I roll? There it is. What am I rolling? A d20?
You trying to figure out what to roll. Just roll a perception. So go into your character sheet, and then you should be able to just click on it.
Perception. Perception. That's gonna be on my wisdom. My wisdom sucks.
It's not a bad roll.
I roll 16. That's not too bad.
That's not bad.
I might get something useful out of it.
So you hear a lot of discussion about the events that transpired last night, individual dreams, and if they could actually mean anything. Really deep philosophical. If I could make mouth words. Conversation that doesn't really amount to anything except existential nonsense that isn't really applicable anywhere. Other people talking about the prospects of actually having ties with Oreskos, and you hear the name Johnny brought up a few times, and people's opinions of him are mixed. Some people don't like him because he's been denouncing the gods. Other people are like, but it's only Heliod, and we've seen Heliod's kind of thrown out of balance.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You hear a lot of talk of Oreskos and Bramaz and how he seems to be the only leader thus far that's been trying to work towards peace. And other talk about trade with the Leonin and things of that nature. Animeus and Paris Sophia are on their own over in the corner talking about the mysteries of the multiverse and all that stuff. And he's never giving her direct confirmation of the multiverse. It's more of like a philosophical conversation. And there are also a few murmurs about Ifara and how it's so odd that she would actually or with the actions or have a hand in the actions of people because she hasn't actually chosen a champion in as long as
You're breaking up again.
I thought he was just trying to give out cliffhangers.
Hasn't chosen a champion in. Tune in for next time.
Next time on The Voice Within. Will the heroes ever learn how long it's been since the last time Afara had a champion? Will Taurus finally get to set something else on fire? Probably the latter.
Will Taurus ever find his glove? Ooh, you can find a glove and set it on fire and high five people with a flaming glove.
I like the way you think.
so y'all are just hanging out in the council chambers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're back.
What was the last thing you heard?
Uh,
Did I cut out again?
yeah. Afara hasn't chosen a champion in?
As long as anyone can remember.
Hey!
Oh.
You didn't miss that much.
You missed Taurus with a flaming glove high-fiving people.
Oh no, I heard that. I just
Oh.
didn't know that you guys didn't hear me.
Also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the gist of what you get out of eavesdropping at the council meeting.
Dropping some eaves.
Claw's gonna look around for some grapes and look to see if there's any servants or anything willing to feed him grapes as he waits.
You should check the nearby lemonade stand.
They have lemonade.
Being
I would assume so. It's the Mediterranean.
a cat, I thought you would be looking for sushi.
Mm-hmm. Also good.
Cats can have balanced diets.
Yeah, there are a few servants moving around, and when you approach them, they ask you if there's anything they can do, and you are being fed grapes, to the people who know that this, you deserve some type of recognition for what you did last night. But there are a few eyes rolled and this kind of request.
I'm gonna point to a servant who looks like they're in a really big hurry with this scroll, and I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, you with the scroll, come fan me."
Stop dead in their tracks and but
And I'll just
it in
like
a
Amara.
pouch. I put it in a pouch and come over and grab a fan.
I could get used to this.
Just don't get too used to it.
So when the others finally enter, I'm just gonna shoo everyone away, stand up, and kind of brush myself off, and just act like I was just standing, waiting, like nothing was going on.
Okay, so Ajani, Tarus, and Kariki enter. Tarus, having found a glove, waving it frantically at everyone he passes by, like, give me a high five, give it.
And
And,
I'm asking Johnny some really weird questions the entire time.
Johnny's been answering them, in as short a format as he possibly can. And Animeus gestures to you as you enter, letting Paris Sophia know that you're here. And she comes over, introduces herself to a Johnny. Johnny does likewise. And, conversation starts about the peace treaty and the current state of um, relations with the Leonin. And, Johnny is split. Like, you can tell he has a decision to make. And, he tells Parasovia he's got some thinking to do and comes and approaches you guys for a little bit of counsel. And he comes in and says, I have a decision to make. And I am very torn because it seems as though Parasofia specifically would like for me to be the ambassador to Oreskos. And, he doesn't, say it aloud, but, and you know what my main goals on Theros are. And that's making things difficult on me because there's nothing more that I want than peace on the plane.
What was his main goals again?
To kill Heliod.
To avenge Elspeth's death at the hands of Heliod.
Isn't Heliod trying to spread chaos? So wouldn't creating peace between the Leona and Meletis actually strengthen the forces that you could muster against Heliod?
These forces
Heliod.
would
Go ahead.
what? I was saying this city is loyal to Heliod, at least partially. They would not be with us on that goal, no matter what.
But still, he could benefit from the peace treaty through trade and like a false treaty, so to speak.
Yeah, up until they realize what he's trying to do, and then they'll be on his tail.
True.
Well, there's some things we have to get out of the way anyway before we could even discuss those other plans. So, I mean, if you can help your people by assisting the council here while we take care of the more, I'm not going to say mundane, but some of the more fun parts, then we could always pick you back up before the epic rundown.
Yeah.
Taurus is going to shrug and be like, do good where you can. We'll take care of the rest.
Yep. Johnny's going to give a real hearty smile. And with a heavy pat on the back that almost knocks Tarus down, he says, I wouldn't miss out on all the fun.
Not again, anyway.
Yeah, not again. And he touches his nose again, feels as if the swelling's starting to go down.
No, kind of grumble sorry.
Sorry, but not sorry.
He knows.
He knows.
Wow.
So, Johnny, thanks all of you for your help thus far, and with promises to meet up again, and voices his gratitude that you would even consider helping him in the matter, and says that turns to Parasofia and agrees to become the liaison to and from Oreskos.
The Leonin liaison.
Yep.
Better him than me.
The cat commander.
do cat and captain together. It's really hard.
The captain.
The captain.
So Ajani agrees to become the liaison and tells Paris Sophia that he will have to return shortly to tell the other people in the group what is, what has transpired and his new role and all of the sorts. So he turns to you and says that they need to meet up with Caesar and Lanathos, tell them what's going on.
So are we leaving now to go meet back up with them, or should we head out ahead of you?
I'm waiting for a prompt to show up saying like the next part, like the next quest, to like give me details on what we do. Are we going to Perforos? Or what else is there?
I'm pretty sure that was our next goal. Our next primary goal.
Quick question. Would that mean going like towards Akros?
Yes, it would. Let me see.
Oh, fun.
So if you would, please turn your attention to the world map.
On page 394.
Yes. So yeah, as of right now, you're in the northernmost part of Theros, and Akros is atop of the Phoberos Mountains, and you don't really know the best way to get there. I mean, according to the map, there's only one road that will get you to Akros that is easily accessible, but you're sure there's got to be a few different ways at least.
Is there anything else we need to do before taking this on?
I mean, you guys haven't taken any time to pick up any gear or anything yet.
To the item shop.
To pick up. Yes.
Tourists are gonna be like, yeah, seriously, it took me like 5 minutes to find a fucking glove in this place.
Fucking glove. I mean, I could have given you a gauntlet, but I'm not sure your mage hand could hold it.
Just walking around with a floating gauntlet and hitting people with it.
High five, Kong.
Because the mage hand holds 5 pounds.
Yeah, it's 5 pounds. I think it can hold one gauntlet.
It should be able
10
to.
pounds. Actually, 10 pounds.
Or is it 10 pounds in 5e?
It's 10 pounds.
Awesome.
All right. So, which way would be the best way to go?
Well, I mean, we can ask for directions as we shop.
Are we going to Scola Valley and then to Akros? Because is that the only way?
I think that's the
Unless you
easiest way.
sprout wings and fly.
There might be a back path through Tethmos.
We just go to the mountains like my people do.
Yeah, why don't we just go through Moria?
There's a lovely
Man.
little volcano right there in the center that's probably perfect
Purpose.
as forge.
There's a good
Yeah.
jump check. Just don't fail your jump check. You know, bounce on Tarusha's glove.
Yeah.
So
does anyone have a summon monster? We can call for a bunch of eagles.
the fools are gonna fly.
If we find a big enough gauntlet, we could just have Tarus mage hand us up there.
I'm not going to drop my ring in a volcano. Just letting you know.
Oh yeah, we got rings recently, didn't we? Forgot about those. Wonder where I wrote that down.
You can put it in your game notes.
Yeah, I don't think I made handouts for those. They should still be in the chat somewhere.
All right, so I kind of don't want to deal with Akros, though. They still hate cats. They're dog people.
For sure.
Where's Ekros? Oh, in the mountain.
Hmm.
Okay. So are you going to ask for directions, get a few opinions from the people in town, go shopping? You meeting with Caesar and Lanathos before you start shopping? What's going on? So Johnny's
Okay.
prioritizing that first.
All right, so this is my plan. I am going to use this Afara card as much as possible. And I'm going to go to a restaurant and order food for enough for 50 people and try to get by with it. And I'm going to take it out to the camp and feed everyone.
You know I can feed us all, right? From my
I don't
ability.
want magic food, okay?
No. Food. It's me as a living out in the woods. I'm good at finding berries and shit from people.
I want city food.
You want junk
Magic food has no taste.
I'm good at hunting, finding us snakes.
This
You
food's
might
not
be able
for
to
us.
hunt it, but you don't know how to cook it.
It's not for us.
I
It's
can't do
for
everything.
It's for the
It's
camp.
Teresa's-
Jeez. I'm trying to be nice and you're shutting me down.
No, I'm just saying. If I don't want you to be encumbered by that food. I'm not sure your weight limit can hold 50 portions.
I'm pretty sure I can convince a lot of servants to carry it for me. Like I said, I'm playing the Safari card.
Roll a persuasion.
So you go into this restaurant, and you know the guy at the front. He's seating people, and he immediately recognizes you. You know, the heroes of Meletis. You know, welcome to the establishment. Blah blah, blah all this stuff. You know, obviously welcoming you in, and you know, how can we help as far as chosen?
Yes, I'd like to place a to-go order.
Okay, he takes out a piece of parchment and he's ready to write it down. A pretty small piece of parchment, and he says, "Okay, so how many people?"
I kind of look around and there's no one near me. About 50 people.
He looks up from his parchment, narrows his eyes at you a little bit, and then just starts laughing. Like, "Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh man, 50 people. Oh man, you had me going there for a second. All right, so what can I get for you?"
50 of your specials, please.
This time he's just stone cold, like no emotion. He's not amused anymore. Like, you're being serious.
Yes, and put it on a forest tab.
I don't.
Would
Let
you
me
like
see.
to experience your nightmare again? I can make that happen.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
And a bluff check.
Persuasion with advantage?
With advantage.
Come on. Be awesome. No! All right. Hold on. Okay. Did it work?
The guy he looks down at his.
Oh, he looked down.
Oh no!
Oh God, you killed
Bum,
him.
bum, 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 bum.
At this moment, Akito steps in behind Claw and says, think of the favor you will gain from afar from doing this favor for her chosen." And
Taurus is gonna put a hand over his face and she'll be like,
and then I roll persuasion.
"Oh God, it's a crit." Taurus is like, "I thought we were playing the Afara card, not the whole damn deck."
It's all islands and plains and 4 copies of Afara. That's it. I mean, if that didn't work, I was going to use intimidation, but
There's more to this life than just riches and gold.
I'm
There is
not.
wealth greater than just shiny trinkets and babbles.
I'm not used to asking nicely.
Oh shit, Lucas lost again.
Yeah, he's been gone for like a minute.
All right, the legendary rule still applies. We're good.
What did you hear, Lucas?
He's
No, he's not back yet.
Yeah, I went ahead and posted the rings back in the chat. I'm pretty sure I was holding the opal.
And I was holding the. I have the obsidian.
I didn't
And I
have
have-
any.
And I have the blue metal.
You have the Esper.
Yep.
I didn't get one because there was only 3.
Oh, you can have mine. I'm fine with that. I don't want it.
Did it even benefit a rogue?
It has no benefits at all.
Oh. You
It
had the blue
might-
and white one?
The blue and white one with the black gemstone.
Right.
It says you might be
Yeah,
able.
that
It's
Only
magically
cat metal.
attuned.
Magically attuned to the eternity. So this is something that probably did not come from this realm.
Correct. And it seems like it might have some benefit to your planeswalking abilities.
Maybe you'll be able to planeswalk more precisely.
Maybe like once a day you can use like a shadow step. And
Ooh.
Okay, I made it back.
Hey!
Maybe.
Oh,
welcome back.
welcome back. What did you last hear?
He asked me if it worked, and
Oh,
then I
dear.
went on a spiel.
And then
Okay. And then right after, I guess while the shop merchant was stumbling about, Akira comes in behind Claw and says, "Think of the favor you can gain from afar by helping her chosen. There's more to this world than simply little trinkets and baubles that are shiny and gold." And then I roll a persuasion, and I crit it. I roll 24.
Before you were able to roll this, he was giving Claw this spiel about 25 is the maximum that I can make for you with the special. Like, that's it. I can't do any more. It's going to put me too far behind.
all right,
And
then
you
I want to
come-
place 2 orders of 25 then.
It gives you the narrow eyes. Akira comes up, gives the spiel, and he just looks in the kitchen, looks at you, looks down at the floor, and just tears up his parchment, and he just starts walking to the back. He says, "God, oh my, just mumbling under his breath."
If he gets fired, he can be our follower. He'll be fine. We'll give him a
So-
job.
He goes back to the kitchen, and you just hear, "What 50?" Bang, clang, stuff getting thrown all over the place.
Almost like house tonight.
Lots of diners' heads turn, just like, what in the world's going on? They look at you. Trying to
Taurus,
figure
they
out
might need you for help.
Tarus, what?
They might need him for help. He can be their extra oven.
Everything is well done.
Shard to Chris. Wow. May all your bacon burn.
Oh, not the bacon.
Calcifer. Right?
From Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
So after about 45 minutes of waiting, 10 baskets come out with 5 orders each of roasted lamb with this really great citrus marinade and sides of steamed vegetables, and local, and just everyone who brings a basket out to you is just like torn to pieces, like frustrated and run ragged from having to make 50 orders of the same thing. And you hear a couple more people come in to order the special, and the guy behind the counter just like looks at you, looks back to them and says, "I'm sorry, man, we're out of the special today."
Oh. And by that time, I had gathered 5 servants from the council, and I asked them to send 20 orders of that to the council, and the rest of the 30 going to the camp. And just say it's from us.
So the 2 servants depart carrying the baskets, and the guy at the front was like, "Why did you not say it was for the council?" Just face palms and kind of puts his hands in his head in his hands, leaning against the podium where he's taking orders. Says, "Please just take your food and go."
I tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. I just kind of have a smug look on my face as I'm walking out. Really proud of the fact that I got 50 orders and didn't pay for a single one of them.
Somebody who can help me also, or are we in an inn or are we in a general store?
It's just a street side restaurant. But
Oh.
where you guys are is like an open market. There are several shops around, restaurants, tailors, and then there's one like assorted market called the Kraken's Cash that you see on across from the restaurant. And it seems to have general wares.
Being a rogue, after helping Claw, I proceed to follow the back alleys looking to see if there's any sort of black market to where we can get, a little more things that aren't general.
I mean, I'm fine with normal things as long as they give it stuff. I'm cool with regular magical items.
Okay, so Akira's gonna split off wandering the alleyways. What's everybody else doing?
I'm
I'm
walking
going-
with the food to the camp. So I'm kind of out of this. I'm not shopping.
All right, I'm going to look for a master blacksmith.
I'll head with him and then try and convince him to come with me to a magic shop afterwards.
All right.
Like, I want to go to the magic shop.
Wait, so where are you guys going? The General Wares place?
No, I was going to look for a master blacksmith. Because I want to find that nice chain. I don't think a general wear store will have the quality that I'm looking for.
Okay. Wandering around the marketplace, you do hear the clang of metal on metal, smith work being done over toward the loading docks, and you go over there and you see a whole bunch of banners that aren't Meletian. They're a Crowan. And there's this like tall, wiry guy sitting in front of a forge, tending to it, pulling a few small pieces of.
Welp.
Lost Lucas again.
Do 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 do.
You back?
I'm back.
Yay! Last we heard was something about the tall, wiry guy, and that was about it.
Tall, wiry guy banging together a piece of chainmail with little pieces of metal he's pulling in and out of the forge, dunking them, hammering them together. He doesn't notice you approach.
I will bang on something to make him aware that I'm present. So, like knock knock.
He throws up a hand over his shoulder. He doesn't turn to look at you, and he finishes, patiently banging together the pieces of chainmail that he has. right now. And he turns and immediately recognizes you. You know, big smile on his face, stands up. This guy's about 6'4" whenever he stands, but real skinny guy, wiry. You know, he comes over and he extends a hand out to shake your hands and says, "The heroes of Meletis here, themselves in my shop. Um, what can I do for you as far as chosen?"
I guess I'm looking for some high quality chain. I figured you would have some way better than the general store down the street.
Well, of course, I am a Crowan smith. You'll never find a higher quality chain than what you will find here.
Fantastic.
So he turns around real quickly, points like in different directions, thinking, mumbling to himself, and he holds up a finger and says, "Just one moment." Around behind the forge, where
It was a fun session, guys. Appreciate it.
What did he find? Tune in next time.
process forges themselves.
Hey, welcome back.
Man, I'm getting tired of repeating myself, guys.
We're tired
What's
of
the last thing you
cliffhanger.
heard?
He went back to the forge.
Back to the forges. There's a big box, a big chest behind it. He flips it open roughly and just starts throwing, little bits and pieces like pitons and a couple of sets of greaves and a pauldron and aha, epiphany. Sound of epiphany. He comes in. He comes out with a full set of mail and turns around and just chucks it at Akiri or Kariki.
Awesome. Wait, it's a full set of mail or a full set of chain?
Lost Lucas again.
No.
Oh, there
There he is.
it might just be a chain mail.
Yeah, it's chain mail. A full set of chain mail.
I'm not looking for chain mail. I'm looking for like climbing chain.
I'm sorry, what?
Like climbing chain, like climbing rope, but because it's chain, it can hold more weight before it snaps.
Says, And he rubs his chin.
I mean, he's a Crowan, so it's not like it's an unfamiliar concept, I'm sure. He's been rubbing his chin real hard.
DM is sitting there. He's like, God damn it! Why do they always do this to me? Asking for this random shit that I was not prepared for.
I just figure if we're going to the mountains, we might need some heavier chain so I can help some people who aren't as climb able.
Dexterous. Or perhaps a certain mage that was short and stubby. Didn't have quite the reach to get the handholds.
Yes.
But I
don't know
mean, I mean, he can use fire as a rocket booster. He should be okay. He's small enough.
Just spark some flames and shoot up.
Can you mage hand yourself up?
Okay.
The mental image of just seeing Taurus flying through the air, just like twin trails of fire behind him, just brings a tear to his eye.
See, you could get that metal gauntlet, grab onto the fingers and like brace yourself and then start a fire right in the base of it and use it like a rocket fist thing. Yeah, that'd be.
I am fireman. Speaking of, I'm going to try something out. Real quick.
Bunch of resistance. Chainmail of acid resistance, cold resistance. Chain shirt +3. Chain shirt of force resistance.
Also, pay no attention to this firebolt. I'm trying to see if it rolled right.
Yeah.
It does not look like it.
I don't know.
Maybe
What?
it did not. Okay.
This? This shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's like I'm getting disconnected from
I can hear it.
Hangouts.
Hello, Lucas.
You're there and then you're not there.
All right, I see how it is. God.
Can a rogue wear chainmail?
No. You have disadvantage on stealth with chainmail.
So only leather armors?
Yeah. Unless you get medium armor master, and then I think you don't have disadvantage.
Hide armor. Is hide armor considered leather armor?
You cannot hide with hide armor. I think you can. It would be kind of oxymoronic.
That should be fine.
Are it working now?
I guess. Can I be heard?
Yes.
You are heard.
Yay! Yeah, I'm good now. So I can wrap up.
I'm watching.
You're watching? Well, he's going to be an issue.
Here, take your chips and get out of here, kid. Super, don't bother me.
Okay, what was the last thing that was heard?
These nuts.
Move. Get out.
I'm gonna go this way.
Okay, chunk it.
Bye, I love you.
Bye, I love you too and stuff.
It's hot up here.
It's warm, yes. Could you turn the AC on?
Open.
Okay, could you turn the AC on?
It's a lot cooler right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so where were we?
I don't even know. You asked for chain.
That was when you kind of disappeared.
Yeah, a certain chain of events.
Oh yeah,
I'm-
he was scratching his chin.
Yeah, I'm tired of role playing this character already. I've done it 100 times. He gives you 40 feet of chain and says you can keep the chain mail. It should be in your journal.
Keep the change.
Oh God! What
Parfros realizes that Insane is not like he has a job to do and comes all the way over from Akros just to strike us down for our terrible puns. But yeah. So I would be like, well, if you're from Akros, what do you think would be the fastest way to get there from here?
The fastest way? Well, I mean, if you're reckless and stupid, you could go through One-Eyed Pass and shave off about 5 days. But, harpies and cyclops and Coboblepus and rock golems and I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're not stupid enough to go through there.
Ooh,
But-
XP.
Or you could cut all the way around, skirt the outside of the Nessian forest and cut through Skola Valley and take the stairs all the way up to Akros and cross the bridge. Or if you want to avoid the forest, you can pass through Edina and go around and come up through Tethmos on the opposite side. But it's a little bit more rough country up through the mountains past Tethmos.
Fair enough.
Why do I get the feeling everyone's going to be doing One-Eyed Pass?
I vote for some 70s like jazzercise music and do some stair climbs.
We can instead of playing music. We can just do a montage, and we'll make it through One-Eyed Pass in no time.
Unless it's just like a 4-frame montage and ends with just like scattered bodies being consumed by harpies.
It's time for a montage. Up, everyone's dead.
So yeah, now you know your options.
So I'm gonna be like, all right, well, we got your chain. So how about we go check out those sweet magical item shops?
Let's go.
Right, so also wandering around, you find a shop that's out just in the middle of the plaza where this Triton is standing in the middle of the kiosk with all kinds of rings and spheres and wands and all kinds of other stuff all around him. And, talking about the finest magical items in Meletis, peddling his wares.
Finest items in Meletis, eh? Do you have anything that could maybe increase the power of fire?
And
You can't
again,
see me scratching in my beard, but
he immediately recognizes you and says, I've heard the stories about you, little one. You're the fire slinger, aren't you?
I don't know what gave you that idea.
So he turns around and he starts rummaging through all the stuff and looks down up under the shelf and says, I have just the thing for you. So he comes up with this disc. It's about 1.5 feet across, but it's hollow or empty in the center. It's about, I don't know, 0.5 centimeter in thickness, but perfectly round, and 4 inches from the outside to the inside edge. And it says this here is, now please for the love of God, a flame cast wheel. And I think this suits you perfectly. And he reaches out over the desk to hand it to you. And
Pick it
Go
up
ahead.
and take a look at it and be like, well, what does it do exactly? And I'm going to
Well, see, if you pay 5 and sack it, it can do 3 damage to a target creature.
Stop it! Stop it! You're ruining everything. So, as soon as you grab it, it feels warm in your hands. Like it's got some magical power to it. And he says, with this, you can use it as a focus, and any fire spells that you cast, you will get a little bit of a buff with it. And it will even increase your spell slots. Metagaming.
spell slots. What are those, citizen?
So yeah, it'll give you extra spells that you can cast. With limitations, of course, but
So Taurus is gonna lift it up and be like, and what'd you say your name was again, sir?
insert generic merfolk NPC name.
Very well, Flounder. As soon as I continue this, people will know it came from your wonderful store. His name's not actually Flounder, but I'm calling him that now.
That works.
Fire.
So Taurus is gonna start spinning on his finger and be like, so more fire, eh?
All right. And it should be in your journal now.
Little fidget spinner. He's just like has like rockets. Fire's just propelling it in circles in his hand.
I can see Toulouse now just like fidget spinning it in his hand and like little sparks coming off of it as it spins.
But the thing is, as large as it is, he could almost fit it over his head if he wanted to and wear it as a necklace.
Ah.
A really cumbersome necklace, but a necklace.
I want to see if I could fit it over my head. Like it's going to be right in front of my eyes and make me look like an angel from
Zendikar.
yeah, Zendikar angel with my halo in front of my eyes. How do they see like this?
Or a Jordy.
That's classic.
So yeah, he goes on to say, on the house, courtesy of Flounder's shop of many things.
Or the slogan is, "We don't flounder around."
Oh God. Oh, that physically pains me.
We've got magical items for the most experienced adventurers to the ones maybe a little wet behind the ears. Oh God, so big. Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, it's wonderful. A sign of wealth among pigeons.
Sign of wealth among pigeons.
Oh, God. I'm worthless now. You guys have got me so messed up.
So I'm gonna look to who all was with me? Just Kariki?
Yeah, just Gariki.
So I'll be like, do you need anything?
No, I think we're good. Maybe some other straps on the way back.
So I'm going to offer to shake Flounder's hand with my floating glove.
He hesitantly just reeks out like, gives it a dead fish handshake.
Oh God.
Okay. Uh, uh, all right. Is there anything else you guys are going to do in the market other than Kariki finding his leather straps?
Nope.
All right. I'll say the general wear store, just happily gives them over to you. Not much of a loss on their part. They're just happy to help.
Not gonna try to find anything for Claw since he's
I
occupied with food.
yeah, I think I kind of pressed my luck too much with feeding people that I don't think I'm going to ask for anything more. Kind of save me from Afar's wrath, but I am
You can go to different.
I am going to get about 1 barrel of wine, and then a bottle of like the best wine in Meletis.
A barrel and a bottle.
A barrel of cheap stuff and a bottle of good stuff.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
So as I approach the camp, I am going to act kind of like a savior, bringing food to people, and then I'm going to take 2 specials from it all, and present one to Seiza with the bottle of wine, and then not say anything to her whatsoever, and just turn around and walk away, because I can't talk to girls.
She just greets you with a really big smile. Grunt. And then she just starts, eating and, taking a sip. And Johnny has beat you to the camp, by the way, because you took forever waiting on food. So
Well,
he's
Johnny's
already
being
given us
fed.
a meal. Yeah, Johnny's getting fed. All right.
Everyone around here trying to get up stuff for themselves while I'm trying to play politics.
All right. And Sam, you've been wandering around, the back alleys. You've met a few shady folks, struck up conversation with them about some real potent items. And a few people, they're not so much, on the side of Afara as other ones are. So they're driving a hard bargain trying to get you to actually pay some hefty gold for the things that they're offering. And one of them that you find is a helmet that this guy's wearing. And give me some perception.
Perception. Normal roll?
Yeah.
Looks like a potato skin to me. I'm not interested.
You don't even see this guy until he's right on top of you. And when you notice he's there, like, the only reason you notice is because he's brought his attention or your attention to him. Like, he touched you on the shoulder. When you turn your head, he fades back into your vision. So when you were looking at him, he was vaguely camouflaged into the wall behind him, and you never even heard his footsteps. So he takes the helmet off and says, "So, I mean, you're obviously one of the the sneaky types. I think this thing here might, give you a little bit of fit."
Okay. What does this helmet do?
I mean, you just, well, not saw what it did. I come right up on you and you didn't even know I was here.
I'm very intrigued. And what exactly are you asking for this precious gem?
I don't know. Do you have anything valuable to trade for it? It is pretty important. I mean, I'd be willing to give you a little bit of a discount, being, a forest chosen and all. Whoop-de-doo to that. But, whatever good she's done to me, I don't know.
Well, I can give you 5 copper pieces for it.
But he throws his head back and laughs. Anything valuable to trade for it?
5
6
copper pieces. 6 copper pieces, and the chance of me not slitting your throat. And I guess I gotta roll intimidation.
Yes.
I'm like the most horrible negotiator at this. I helped with the. I that's what I did. Is I used my critical on the food, helping Claw, and yeah, I'm totally botching the rest of this.
He just kind of smiles at you and says, "Oh, is that so? I don't know how you're going to slit my throat if you can't even find me." So he's looking around, and okay. So who ended up with what stuff after you looted Ashiok?
Of those rings?
Just all the stuff, because I know there was a pauldron that was made of gold. I don't know who ended up with that.
I
Don't remember.
don't know.
I don't even remember the pauldron.
I might have not brought it up, or it was lag or something.
I don't have anything written down.
All I have is the obsidian ring.
Yeah. Or the shoulder pad. Right?
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning it. I just don't remember who grabbed it.
For the sake of this interaction, we're going to say this sleazy guy sees it on Akira and says, "What about that, that little bit of shiny you got there?"
Oh, this? I forgot I even owned this.
Yeah. This gold is worthless to me. But
He just kind of raises an eyebrow. Gold is worthless.
But that helmet.
Business.
Perhaps I am willing to trade it.
He nods and says, "That seems like a fair deal to me." So he reaches out to hand you the helmet.
I would try to just snatch it and run, but with the way my rolls have been, I go ahead and agree to the trade. And hand over the golden statue of whatever.
It should be in your journal now.
Where would it be listed?
Just under journal and handouts, I believe.
Oh. Aha. Helmet of Shadows. I'm a rooster. Caw-caw. This relates to me so well. Disadvantage on hearing? Yeah, I can't hear worth a shit.
Let me see. I might have.
Is there a way I can put that stat into my... Let's see. Stealth. bio character. Cool. There's no way for me to have that +2 automatically put on a roll, is there?
There should be. No, that's not what I'm doing.
I might have to create a special item just for it.
Yeah, I don't know how you would calculate that in. Okay. Is there anything else you're going to be looking for while you're out and about?
Seeing as, oh, for just everybody, or
Yeah.
Claw's gonna be like sitting on a log away from people, just eating his leg of lamb and drinking the bad wine or the cheap stuff.
Akira having left the shadows of society and returned to the more respectable people, browses through weapon shops and things to find anything better than his short sword and dagger.
Yep. Perusing through, you find yourself in the general wear shop, and he has a few weapons set up, on the side, and there's a short sword that's propped up behind a lot of the other weapons that are hung on the rack there, and it catches your attention. There's this one in the handle and the pommel. It has. I'm playing a game, Garrett. Yeah, why don't you go downstairs so I can play it?
No, I said you lost that.
Adorable.
Yep. But engraved in the handle and pommel are symbols of the moon cycles.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty. Akira inquires with the shop owner as to the significance of this weapon. While bobbing his new helmet back and forth because he likes how the fins wobble.
Sorry, I'm dealing with the 3-year-old running around trying to feed me already been chewed chips. Yeah. So shop owner takes a look at it and holds it, rolls it in his hands. He tests the weight of it and he says, "Really, there's nothing, really extraordinary about it. It's just a well-balanced weapon." And he takes it and he puts it in his sheath, turns around, reaches out to hand it to you.
Akira will take the weapon and unsheath it and inspect the engravings and test the balance for himself.
So take it, you test the balance, unsheath it, give it a couple, you know, uh, you know, practice maneuvers, test the balance. You take it and you look at the hilt, and as you move your thumb over the engravings, they begin to cycle across the handle.
Ghost cake.
What did you make me?
Ghost cake.
A goat cake?
No, ghost cake.
A gross cake?
No, ghost
Ghost.
I have no idea what you're saying.
cake.
Oh, why don't you go tell mommy about it? Cycles rotate. The one all the way down at the pommel disappears and appears on the opposite side.
Fascinating. Since this is such a mundane weapon, you wouldn't mind parting with it, would you? For the
Shop
sake of Afara.
Shop owner just kind of shrugs, crosses his fingers, and puts his hand on the desk. Says, "I've got a dozen like it. Take it."
Well, thank you. May Afara bless you. And Akira goes to search for Kariki and Tarus, who are probably still wandering around somewhere.
You can probably spot Tarus fairly easily from the giant gouts of fire that are spraying into the sky.
Or the floating glove.
He's trying to achieve attunement by it as fast as possible.
All right. So since you're all done, you meet up, head back to the camp, and Johnny begins to say his goodbyes. Happy that he had the time that he spent with you. And same thing with Caesar and Lanathos. They say that they're going to accompany Johnny back to Oreskos on his first trip back to meet Brumaz and tell him what is, the new plans for peace in the realm. And I'm going to sum up the session right there.
Yay.
And Claw changes his mind by going through Skola. He wants to go through Tethanos now. With a pit stop at Oreskos.
A pit stop at Oreskos? That's it's a bit more than a pit stop.
It's a little ways out of the way. That's I don't know, about an extra 6 or 7 days added to the trip.
It's a pit stop.
What do you need at Oreskos?
It's feline products. You wouldn't understand.
Feline products.
+2 on stealth. I found
Okay,
it.
so I've got a serious question. After I kill everyone in the next session, who's going to take over the campaign?